This is my Kenmore clean and vac. You can see the label's a bit worn off, but I got this vacuum just today at Goodwill for a measly sum of $5.99. I tested it before I bought it just to make sure it was working okay. It seemed like it did. Even the light still works, which is nice because I believe that light bulbs for these are very hard to find these days. It's a Kenmore in name only. Most people who know Kenmore vacuums very well will know that Kenmore never really made their own vacuum cleaners, at least not for a very long time. This vacuum cleaner is virtually a Douglas hand vac. I believe it was made by Douglas. This Kenmore is not unique in the sense that it was also available as an Oric hand vac, and for many years it was also available as a Kirby hand vac, which I actually had some years ago, and it was called the Vacuette. It was also, I believe, available under Douglas, which would make sense because that was the company that made this machine. And I also remember this vacuum cleaner being available as a Sears Craftsman PowerMate. May have been available under a couple more brands as well, but those are the only ones that I remember. So, it's a 1-speed, although at first I thought it was multiple speeds, but it turns out that this dial only does not control the speed of the motor. It only controls the amount of suction through some kind of diverter that's somehow embedded inside this machine somewhere. It'd be interesting to see someday how that works. It's interesting because this setting that says brush only cuts off all of the airflow from the nozzle. Why that is, there's only one possible explanation I can think of that seems logical. In the 1980s, Kenmore had a dry carpet cleaning machine, and the whole purpose of their carpet clean machine having a brush only setting was so that when they sprinkle the powder into the carpet, they have to use some sort of brush to brush it into the carpet to embed the detergent into the carpet so that it could lock to soil, and then you would vacuum it up later. So that's the only explanation as to why this might have a brush only setting, so that perhaps this vacuum cleaner could have been used for dry powder. Personally, I would have never used this vacuum with dry powder because all this has for filtration is this. Although it's thick, it's just a cloth bag. Cannot imagine how much dust this vacuum cleaner would be spewing out of this bag, picking up fine powder, so that would have not been a very good idea in my opinion. But I do think it is kind of interesting how it not only has that setting, but it also has a low and a high setting for suction. Not for motor power, just suction. But it's a relatively loud hand vac, which I was expecting. Most hand vacs are loud. Although I would say the Dirt Devil hand vacs are probably quieter than this thing. I don't even remember what belts these take, but I know that this belt has to be replaced without question. I'm hoping that a Dirt Devil hand vac belt will fit. The only thing is it's a lot narrower than this one. I'm not sure if it's gonna be, might create too much tension on the motor if I try to use a Dirt Devil belt, so I guess it will just be trial and error. So I will just run this quick so you can see how it works. So that is the Kenmore Clean and Vac. As you can hear from the motor, the belt is slipping, and it's not really, probably not picking up very much because the belt is all stretched out, but at some point I will remedy that. So that is the Kenmore Clean and Vac. I'm not quite sure when this vacuum was made, but I would suppose probably at some point between 1985 and 1990. Hope you enjoyed the video.